Hello, this is Joseph Perkins from OTS Student Computing Services, and what I'm going to do is demonstrate the basic operations of iMovie. It's one of the most user-friendly video editing applications we support here at Student Computing Services. Before we begin, if you need assistance with video production, you can certainly contact Student Computing Services. Please go to towson.edu/SCS on the web and you will find all of our content information as well as the description of all of our resources and services. So please, if you need help, let us know. We have multimedia support specialists that can sit down with you, they can guide you and coach you through the depths of video editing to make this process as painless as possible. Okay, so let's begin. The very first thing you want to do is you want to transfer all of your files to the computer. As you see, I've transferred all my files here, and I've also grouped them into a folder. So make sure you do that so that way you don't lose track of anything. So right now I'm going to right click and make a duplicate file of this, or duplicate copy, so to speak. And I'm going to do that just because there's a lot of things that can happen. You know, your files could get corrupted or something bad can just flat out happen. And so, you know, if that does happen, we want to always have a backup. And so we always recommend that not only do you make a backup here, but you also make another backup and you transfer it to an external hard drive or some sort of cloud-based storage. And that's just to play it safe. And even if you use that copy that you put on the cloud-based storage, you can, or your external hard drive, you can use that to play around with iMovie, you know, test some of the themes out, test some of the transitions, you know, kind of get used to the interface before you get to your project. So that's if you have time, but if you don't have time, which I know most of you don't, you can go straight to your project. But that's also an option that I recommend if you can, sure, if you do have the time. Okay, so let's just, you know, show you what we're going to be working with. We have an MP3 file, an audio file. We have 3 MP4 video files. We have a text file here. This may not be mandatory, but we do recommend you put your credits and organize your credits beforehand, so that way you won't leave anyone out, or you know you won't, you know, it's just a better way to you know keep everything organized. So you don't have to necessarily do this, but we do recommend that you do keep some sort of text file, so you know you don't turn in your project and you come to find out you forgot something in your credits. So that's very easy to do because from experience I've done that plenty of times. And we have 2 JPEG files here. So, and then we have another audio file. So these are the files that we're going to be working with. So let's get started in iMovie. Okay, so let's get iMovie open. I'm going to go to Launchpad and iMovie. Okay, so this is what you get when you first open it up. And if you've never used a project, this is what you get. If you have opened a project before, it will open up your last project. So let's go to Create. And you have 2 options here. You have either a movie or a trailer. A trailer is just, you follow a template to create a Hollywood-style movie theater. But for our sakes, we're just going to stick with movie. Okay, so now you have the option here to add themes to your project. A theme, just in a nutshell, it gives you an opening title, gives you an ending title, and it gives you transitions based on the theme in between clips. So, for example, if you're thinking of a news style type of project, you may consider selecting news. Or if you're doing some sort of sports project, you may consider sports. So iMovie gives you this you can make this decision from the very beginning or in the middle of your project. If you decide to add a theme or change themes, you can do that in the middle of it as well. But for the sake of this project, we're going to select no theme, create, and we have to name it. So we're going to name it Perkins, which is my name, Everest. Okay, and we're going to select OK. So before we move forward, one of the neat things with iMovie, if you notice, there's no save button. You go to File, or there's nowhere to save it. Well, iMovie automatically saves every move that you do. So you never have to worry about saving. You never, you're taught when you're working on a project to always, make sure you save after, every 2 minutes, every 5 minutes. Well, iMovie does that for you. Every move that you make will be saved automatically. Okay, so let's import our media, and you can either click it, import media here or there. So I'm going to select that and just going to click on the folder and import everything in the folder. Now this is just saying that your text file cannot be imported, and we knew that going into this project because that text file is just simply used so we can copy and paste the credits into the project, not actually import that text file into the project, because iMovie just won't allow it. So let's hit continue import, and as you see, our video files show up. Oh, well, not just our video files, all of our files are right here. Okay, so let's get to the fun part of this tutorial, which is the editing process. The first thing I want to do for my video, for this project, I like to open up with a still image. So I'm going to grab this still image here, and all you have to do is click and drag it, and that's how you're going to drag all your video files or your music files. All you have to do is click the portion you need and drag it down. Just a couple of things you need to know if you're going to insert a still image into your project. When you do that, it automatically adds what we call the Ken Burns effect, which is a type of panning and zooming used in video production from still images. And so, I really like the effect, but if you decide that you don't like it, you can. It's a very simple way to get rid of it. You can just go up here and click this button here, the reset clip, and you will just have a still image. But because I like the Ken Burns effect, I am going to undo reset all tools, and there we go. And then also keep in mind that when you insert a clip, a video file, it automatically goes in for 4 seconds, and you can shorten that time or expand it by going to the end and shrinking or expanding the time that you'll like your image to show up. But I'm going to keep it at 4 seconds, and there we go. So let's bring down our video. So this is the first clip that I'm going to bring down. Now just keep in mind as you click and drag, you see there's a yellow box that's going around the clip. So I can stop this at any time. I can stop it here and just take that portion of that clip and drag it to my timeline. But I'm going to drop the entire clip, and you can do that just by going into, you can't go anymore, and that means that you selected the entire clip, and you just click and you can drag that to your timeline. Now before I go on, I just want to show you this tool. As you look right here, this tool allows you to zoom in and out of your clips. So if I wanted to zoom out, I would go this way, and if I wanted to zoom in, I would go to the right. You want to zoom in if you want to make a very precise cut. You can zoom out if you want to see your entire project, or you're just making a huge cut. So I like to see the entire project for now, and I'll show you why. Because I would like to import another file, and I am going to transfer this file, the entire clip, to my timeline. Okay. And now let's zoom in a bit. And bring it back. Okay, so now let's begin to cut. And one of the things I want you to remember in iMovie, of course, you can make a cut, which I'm going to show you. You can make a cut by going to Modify and selecting Split Clip. Excuse me. Or I highly recommend you try to memorize the shortcut, which is Command V. So. And let's say I want to cut right here. I'm going to select Command B. And as you see, the clip separated. And let's keep going. And I'm going to select Command B. And just so you know that the space bar, and this goes with just about every video editor there is out there, the space bar will always be play. Okay, so as you see, I split from 11.7 seconds to 28.6 seconds, and I want to get rid of this clip right here. So I just click on the clip and select delete. So there you go. I just made my very first cut. Okay, so let's go here. So as you see this video, we're in the dark just a little. It seems like we're just in the dark a little too long here. You can't see anything. It's kind of a useless video, so I want to cut that out. So before we get to the Yeti, let's back up. And this is called scrubbing, by the way. So let's scrub back to right here. So let's cut some of that dark out, and let's again Command B. That's how you split the clip. Space bar to play. And right here, let's Command B to split the clip again, and click on the clip and select delete. So let's watch the difference in that. So they're going into the tunnel, and then they're here. Okay, now I'd like to really quickly show you how to adjust the volume of your project. As you can see, the wave is right under the video. If you would like to fade in the sound, you see these two dots here? If you move it, if you start from the beginning of the clip and you move it close, if you move it in, it will fade in up into the point, up into the dot. So I have to bring that back, and vice versa. If you want it to fade out, it will fade out up until you let go of the dot. So you just click and drag that those little circle things, and that's how you'll fade in and out of iMovie. Pretty simple. If you just want to turn the volume all the way up or down, you click in the middle. You go in the middle, and you see it kind of highlights this line in the middle. You'll just kind of bring it. You can click and drag that all the way down. You can drag it all the way to 0%, or you can bring it all the way up to 400%. Now keep in mind that if you go all the way to 0%, you can't hear anything. You go all the way up to 400, it's going to sound really, really distorted. So just keep that in mind as you're adjusting your volume. So, again, you fade in by clicking the dot. if I can if I can click the dot, and your audio will fade in up until that point that you let the dot go, or again fade out this way. So let's fine-tune these cuts. The best way to do that, in my opinion, is to add a transition, and that's something that would really add a smooth touch to your project. And let me show you what I mean. If we look at this clip here, it just cuts to that clip. Now, for some of you, that's okay. That's actually, some people like that. Some people like to just cut to the next scene. Actually, 95% of your movies probably don't have a good transition. It's always just cutting from camera, cutting here and there. News, they cut. But for your project, you may wanna just add that so it just looks smoother to the eye. And I will show you how to do that. You're gonna go down and you're gonna look to your bottom left where it says transitions, and you're gonna click on it, and then it gives you choices. I do recommend for most of your projects you may want to use basic ones, because some of these like this cube spin may take the attention from the actual content to the actual transition, and I don't know if you want to do that. Sometimes you may want to, but just keep that in mind. It's good to stick to basics, transitions, just to just give it just a smooth touch. And let's go to the most basic ones. Let's cross dissolve, cross blur, and fade to black. And so let's go here. And all you would do is just click and drag it to where you want it, and it would show up for you. And let's stop it there, and let's drag this one here. And as you see, it goes there, and so if you pick, let's choose the cube one, so you can just see how that will look. Again, I'm just clicking and dragging the transitions in between the clips. Let's kind of go at the end, and let's do one more here. Let's cross this off. There you go. Now, let's say I get here and I'm looking. I'll review my project. I don't know if I like that cube spin. I can just click on it and hit delete, and I can drag the one that I like. So I encourage you to play with them, because they're really neat, and some of them are really fun. So play around with them and see which one best fits your project. So let's add some titles and captions and credits to our project. And we can do that by going to titles. And there's a ton of neat titles that you can choose. There's some that's animated, some that's not. Here's an animated one right here. And so you can here's a standard one. And again, I encourage you, you don't have to drag it to your project to actually see how it's going to look. You can just literally just click on it and kind of just guide your mouse slowly across it so you can see how it's going to look. A standard lower third, if someone's name, the person you're interviewing, you may want to put their job title and their name. So there's all these titles could be very useful, but for my project I'm going to choose Pixie Dust because it looks cool. And I'm going to drag it here. So when I drag it here, as you can see, it says title automatically, and it gives you the option right here to edit it. So I'm going to put Everest. And if you like to change the font, you can do that here. But I like that font. And I'm going to now here you can extend the title as the same way you extend any other clip, or you can shorten it. And I want to shorten it to the image, and let's just see how this looks. I'm going to hit the space bar to play, and there we go. So that's how you add a title to it, and you know, and again, it doesn't have to be as animated. You know, you can choose. You know, you can choose a basic one or animated one, whatever your personal preference would be. And so let's add one more. Let's add something when Yeti comes up. So let's add a lower third here so we can introduce him. And so we're going to click and drag it. And we're going to name him Dr. Yeti. And we're going to say he's from Towson University. So if you wanted to, you know, bring a lower third in, and let's have it extended just a little longer so people can read it. Extend it for 3 seconds. And as you can see, the total time is 7 seconds, which is right here. So that's how you add the opening title, and then that's how you add lower thirds. And let me show you how to add credits. Same title screen. We're going to do scrolling credits. Okay, and now let's, if you recall, I told you to have that text file, so let's open that text file. And let's copy. And paste. And that's it for that. And let's play it and see how it goes. So you just copied and pasted it. Your credits, and your credits are moving. Okay, now just keep in mind, no matter how many credits you put in there, if you shorten it, it's going to go really, really fast. I'll show you that, how fast that's going to go. Or the longer you play it, the longer the credits will be. So it's kind of tough. You have to find the perfect speed for it. So if you want to speed it up or slow it down, it depends on the length of the clip. So if I want it to go really long, you see it's going to go really, really slow based on the length of the clip. Okay. So that's how you add titles, captions, and credits. So let's add music to our project. So to get back to the movie library, we'll click iMovie library, and let's import our music. And your audio files will always be green. And you would import these the same way you import a video. So if you just want a portion of a soundbite or of the music that you're importing, you can do that. Or if you want the entire thing, just keep going until you highlight their entire audio file. And so let's drag that down. And again, you can drag and place this anywhere you want into the project. You can drag the music here, or you can drag it over here. And I want it in the beginning there. And so again, I apologize that you can't hear it, but I would like to actually fade this in. And so again, if you remember, it's those little dots there. And to fade it in, all I have to do is just drag it to the right. And so that way, see a nice title there, and I can fade the music in. And again, remember, as I hear the music, I think, I'm hearing the noise of this video here, and I'm thinking, I want a little natural sound, but I don't want too much. So let's turn this down as a whole, right there. So that way the music is really, giving my project a nice feel. Okay. And now that, as I wish you can hear this, but now they're going down, I might want to turn it up so I can hear the screaming a little bit, because I think that just adds an extra dimension to my project. Okay. And now there's just a little, this natural sound here, I just want to turn that down some there. And as I'm getting here, what would be really cool if I can add a special effect or just something that can just, this is the highlight, this is the climax, so to speak, of my project. And, it just, I don't know, it's just nothing is telling the viewer that this is the climax. So I would like to add a special effect. So I want to add it from the time the cart stops. So I'm going to split the clip and select Command B, spacebar to play. And right here, I'm going to select Command B, again, to split the clip. And I'm going to select the clip that I like to edit. And to do a special effect, I'm going to go up here and let me make sure I find it. Here we go, video and audio effects. And here I have I can have a couple choices here. Again, if all you have to do is just place the mouse over top of the effect, and it will show you how it will look. And I think I'm going to go with, negative. And so let's see how this looks. And then we're going back. So just keep in mind, if you want to, you have a couple of these effects that you can play with. You can have fun with these. Just keep in mind when you're doing a project, especially for academics, some of these may not be appropriate, but you do have that option here. You also have, if you want to do an audio effect, let me cancel this. You can, simulate someone sounding like they're on a telephone, an echo delay. Someone can sound muffled. Someone can sound like a robot. So these are pretty neat to add to your project. So if you believe you've finished your project, always review it. So let's take a review of our video before we export it. So let's stop there. And we're stopping because I see a mistake, and I'm glad we reviewed our project. I see that the Yeti, you can barely hear him scream. And so we have to fix that. So let's go here where he starts to scream. And let's turn the music down. So I'm going to select the audio file. I'm going to select Command B, which will only separate the audio. And I'm going to let it play out by hitting the space bar until he's finished. Okay. Hit the space bar again. We're going to select this audio file again, and we're going to select Command B. And we want to first take these dots and fade it down. Take the dots and fade it down. And we're going to want to keep it down. And we're going to click on this audio file to fade it in. They click on the dot. So that way it can fade back in. So there we go. So now let's play this part over again so we can hear it and confirm that it's working and make sure it's exactly what we were looking for. So that's perfect. So now, I always like to do this. I know it may get a little, tedious, but now let's review the entire project, and just to make sure that it's perfect. Excuse me, let's start from the beginning. So there you go. Now I didn't see any errors in my project. So now I'm ready to export. Okay, so if we're ready to export our files for our project, let's go to share. And we're going to select theater. Of course, you can upload directly to YouTube, Facebook, or Vimeo. And let's go here. And now it's exporting. It's going to create a QuickTime or a movie file, so that way you can easily upload it to YouTube or anything that accepts it. And let's see when it's done. And this time, this video is only about 1 minute and 30 seconds. The longer your project is, the longer the exporting time will be. And as this is uploading, I just want to thank you all for watching, and also please keep in mind this is a very, very, this was a very brief tutorial. I'm just giving you the basics of iMovie. iMovie is much more powerful than I could show you in this short amount of time. And you can, if you wanted to do a green screen effect or a chroma key effect, well, iMovie is capable of doing that. iMovie is, so I just shared with you the basics of it, and if you ever want to, I do encourage you, if you have a Mac, or if you want to come into one of our Macs and in our lab, and cook, then feel free to play around with it. But I really, I just want to encourage you to, if you need help, please, you can come to us. As I said, our contact information is at towson.edu/SCS, excuse me. And like I said, I'll encourage you guys to, if you need help, if you need further help, review this tutorial. Also, please come to us, and we can sit you down with one of our multimedia support specialists that can help you and coach you and guide you through this process. So that way, we're here to, you have these multimedia projects, but we want these projects to be fun and stress-free. So again, contact us, and again, thanks for watching. And if you have any questions, let us know. Okay? Thank you. Bye-bye.